Hey guys, okay, so let's get into lesson 3 of adding and subtracting fractions, our last lesson. So let's get into our lesson objective. Okay, so our lesson objective for today we will change improper fractions to mixed numbers. So we have a couple of new words today. So let's go over what our new words are. So first, let's go over what is a fraction. So a fraction is a number that shows a part of a whole or part of a set, right? So we have our whole, we're cutting it into some equal pieces, and it's telling us how many of those pieces we have. So that's what a fraction is. Denominator. So denominator is the bottom number. Oops, sorry. 1 second. All right, so the denominator is the bottom number of a fraction that shows the number of equal parts that we have, right? So we have our whole, and we're cutting it into 4 equal parts in this example. So our denominator is 4. It's telling us how many pieces we're cutting our whole into. All right, numerator. So our numerator is the top number in a fraction that shows how many of the parts of the whole there are. So it's telling us we cut our whole into 4 parts. That's what the denominator is telling us. And then it's telling us that we have 3 of those pieces. So our numerator is telling us how many of those pieces we have. All right, fantastic. Now let's go into what is an improper fraction. This is a new word for us. So an improper fraction really simply is just a fraction that represents a value that is greater than 1 whole. So in this case over here, we have our improper fraction. So what it's telling us, our denominator is telling us how many pieces our whole is being split into. So that's 4. So we have our whole right here, and it's being split into 4 equal pieces. But I have 5/4. So I have 5 pieces. So what that's letting me know is, okay, so I have 1 whole, that's my 4 pieces, and then I have 1 more piece, that's 5. So I have 5 pieces of a whole that was cut into 4. So really, we have 2 wholes that are being cut up, and then we have 5 of them. All right. Now, a mixed number is another way of writing an improper fraction. And a mixed number is a number containing a whole number and a proper fraction, or a fraction that's less than the whole. So in this case, we have 1 whole plus we have 1 more fourth. So if I were to take, I love the cake example. So if I took a cake and I cut into 4 equal pieces, and I have 1/4, I have 1 and 1/4. I have 1 whole cake plus 1/4 of another cake. Okay, so that's a mixed number. So now let's get into changing between an improper fraction to a mixed number, because we're going to see this kind of a lot of times. So right here we have our fraction 11/6. So what that's telling me is I have a whole that's cut into 6 equal pieces, and I want 11 of those pieces. So I know 11 is more than 6, so that's telling me, oh, I actually probably have 2 wholes, or maybe more than 1 whole. So let's go ahead and count up. I have 2 wholes here, so let's go ahead and take 11 of those pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11/6 shaded in, right? Okay. Now we want to switch this to a mixed number. So that means I need to have a whole number and then a proper fraction. So a whole number that we have right now, I can look at this model and I see, okay, I have 1 whole, right? So I have 1 whole right there. Plus, I'm also seeing that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 6 in addition to my whole. So when I change my 11/6 into a mixed number, I have 1 whole and 5/6. So I have 1 and 5/6. Okay, so that's how we change from improper fraction to a mixed number. All right, now let's get into our mixed number. So how do we change a mixed number to an improper fraction? So over here, it's saying, okay, I have 2 and 1/4. So I have 2 and 1/4 of something. Let's pretend, let's maybe say, we have a pizza, right? So I have 2 and 1/4 of a pizza. What is that going to look like? Like, how many slices is that really? So I have 2 whole pizzas. I have 2 whole pizzas, plus I have 1/4 fourth of a pizza. So let's take this third pizza and we're going to cut that into fourths. And I have this piece right here, right? And then I also have these holes. Now, I want to change this to an improper fraction. And I know with fractions, all of my pieces need to be cut. All my holes need to be cut into equal pieces. So let me change the color really quickly. Let's do this to blue. Okay, so I know that I have 1/4. So my holes need to be cut into fourths because that's the definition of fractions. Everything has to be equal. So I'm going to take my 2 holes. I'm going to cut them into fourths. So I'm going to cut that into a fourth, and I'm going to cut this into a fourth, right? Oh, my lights just went off. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut all of my pizzas into fourths because we need them all to be equal pieces. So now, how many fourths do I have? So I have 4 fourths right here, right? And then I have another 4 fourths right there, and then I have 1/4 right here, right? So then all together, how many fourths do I have? I have 4 plus 4 plus 1, which is going to equal 9. And so I have 9, and remember, all of my holes are cut into fourths, so I have 9 fourths. So that's how I would switch from a mixed number to an improper fraction. I have to take my holes and I have to cut them into fourths. Really, really important. All right. Fantastic. So we went ahead and we switched from mixed numbers to improper fractions and improper fractions to mixed numbers. So let's read over our lesson objective and see if we met it. So today we changed improper fractions to mixed numbers, and we actually did it both ways. So fantastic. We met our lesson objective for today. Great. This was so much fun. I hope you guys had fun doing this too. All right. Make sure to do your must do's. And if you have time, do your should do's and try to do your aspire to do's. I know you guys can do it. And when you're ready to see me, come get your exit ticket. Thanks. Bye.